them to a counselor. I think it's a high time you also get to know what extremes people are in and take advantage of the period, because as a brother or a sister, you are the one who could be more sensitive. You are the one who could know how far, to what extent has your sister changed, to what extent has your brother changed. Maybe in the previous, maybe last year they were like this, but this time they come home and you find they have lost weight, and they are not telling you it is the issue of what they are streaming or they are trying to put down weight. It is just that the experiences they have had. So I feel that is something that we can take it up over this festive and experience and hear each other and know how to protect each other and take the necessary measure when there is need for us to do so. But I think over and above, I have found again, we are finding parents who are getting affected during the festivities. Children ought to be very protective. They ought to protect their parents rather. Even though you could be having difficult moments and hardships through the year or wherever you are, and maybe you have not met your parent for long, I think it's good to choose what to do to your parent during these festivities. Don't get home with arrogance. We have had people who, when they go for festivities, they find it's their time to get into drinking, to indulge into alcohol, and they leave the parents more hurt. They're more hurt. So it's important that if there are things you are doing out there before you came home, I think for the purpose of your parent, who are very vulnerable, I think I would wish that we avoid taking it to our parents because of their age and even because of the respect that you have for them. There is need for us to know how far do you go, and go home a disciplined person. If you have not been disciplined, go home a person who can relate with your parent at a level that you can understand each other.
Wanasema wasemao kuwa elimu ni bahari haishi kwa kuchotwa. Wakati mwingi natangamana na wanafunzi madarasani, sio kama mwalimu bali kama nahodha kwenye kipindi cha tasnia ya elimu. Na iwapo utanikosa madarasani, basi utanipata nyanjani nikisaka habari zenye usawa, ufasaha na ukweli. Na iwapo utanikosa nyanjani, bila shaka utanipata studioni, hapa nikisoma habari na kuendesha mijadala mikomavu. Mimi ni Andrin Kilemi, mpenzi wa lugha ya Kiswahili na elimu kwa jumla.
They say money makes the world go round. So let's slow things.
Dealing with mental health issues like, say, depression, how can we, in a family setting, be more sensitive to these people and also help them?
Yes, I think social support, because the best place to get support is family. The environment needs to be conducive, where people can be vulnerable and others can pick the feelings. If you are having issues of grief or ill health, it is the family members who are supposed to be the first ones to know how they can support you. It's where you can express your fears. Maybe you have a doctor's report, you can talk about it. It is within the family where you can even encourage one another. All your frustrations, disappointments, you need to know in the family where there are dysfunctional relationships, it is easy to be supported and to be able to express your emotions positively without being judged or without being seen like you have really failed or you are really sick. That is in a healthy family. In a dysfunctional family, you may realize you are not getting the support. There are some people who are even happy that you are sick or you are grieving or anything, which is very negative. And the fact that we are a family, we should bury our differences and support each other.
Any thoughts, Dr. Rehab?
Yeah, sometimes you may find that in the family, people have like fixed labels on each other, and this sometimes put people down. And in some of those relationships, you find people are going through a very difficult time. They are unable to integrate into the family, and so they are feeling like they have low self-esteem and all that. And you know, the family, if you concentrate on such things, you destroy the family unit and the relationships that need to be there. So especially in this season, it is time when people should like not look at each other as this one is not doing this one is not doing well, this one is, you know, has not contributed enough. It is time to just bring together what everyone comes with and share together. Someone may bring something little, another one may bring much. Someone may feel like, you know, you are not very well off. But in all that, it is good to take each other, you know, with that unconditional positive regard, so that you take everyone the way they are and you respect them for who they are. Now, there are some of those cases of people who are maybe going through bad health. They are going through issues of mental health. It is also good to take note of that. And in the family, it is important to look at that person also with a lot of unconditional positive regard and take care of their mental issues, take care of their health. You know, this is a time when you can come together and say, so-and-so needs our help. And then you can be able to determine how to help such a one. So that, you know, the family unit now can be able to bring their resources together and, you know, be able to help those that are grieving, those that are having mental health issues, and other maybe physical health issues.
Absolutely. Dr. Sarah?
I think we are in a time when we need to educate each other or expose each other to maybe symptoms of unwellness amongst our family members, because there is a lot of assumption that you are okay because I see you smile, you're okay because I saw you bring our family this and the other. But I think there is need for more of psychosocial education among family members, or just within the community or within the society, where people are informed. Why is it that this is happening? What are the symptoms? How do you get to know that somebody has changed? How do you get to know that somebody is transformed? And I think with that, we can also maybe reduce our expectations for each other. As my colleague has said, you come to an unconditional regard for each other. So basically, these are things that we are able to update each other. Families have learned to have WhatsApp groups. Many of the families would operate under that. I think, and in those groups, we can be intentional on posting things on self-awareness and self-awareness, so that we may be moving from a point of understanding each other. I think we take advantage. Sometimes we only come together as families when there is maybe a funeral, is when you find families forming groups. But I think we can take it up that as families we can have a way to be chatting with each other frequently, and you can tell when somebody is posting some certain maybe videos oftenly, or even mentioning things in the media all the time. You'll be able to tell at what level is this person. And so we are likely to pick it up even as we meet over the festivity period, where we can now share, I saw you post this, what did you mean by this? Instead of, so as I'm saying, there is need to be each other's keeper among family members. And I want to give an experience of what I would see would happen in the village. You'll find people have, families have come together, brothers and sisters have gathered. Then you look at their children and the way they are dressed. You know, it just tells you which category do these people belong. And sometimes that is where some social issues start, esteem issues start in families, mental health issues start there. Because a child tries to compare themselves with another cousin, and they realize, wow, my parent is not able to afford this. My mommy cannot afford this, and that's why I'm dressed like this. And so I think we need to be wise. It should not be a time to show off during Christmas. As much we try to avoid, and if it becomes a show off, then you try to create uniformity in a way. You just try to say, this is my brother, he's jobless, but I can carry clothes for my nephews, my nieces, just the same way I'm buying for my daughters and my sons. So with that, you create a uniformity kind of where those things may not arise. Because again, this is a time that a cousin or a nephew can hate an auntie just because of the way they saw themselves being treated during the chapati cooking time. That the lady is just calling their children, but I'm there watching my aunt cook, but she cannot give me a piece. And you find enmity starts there. So we need to be very careful during the festivities that you can create a kind of an atmosphere where everybody feels equal and equally loved.
Okay, okay. Unfortunately, during the holidays, many psychosocial support services in hospitals are also closed until the holidays are over. So my question is, where can one seek help during this festive season in terms of mental health, that is?
First of all, within the family, if they're able to manage expectations and practice kindness to each other and compassion, there will be less challenges. But in case there is a problem and it needs action, I believe there are still available avenues within the locality where the families are. These days, you find that mental health practitioners, social workers, counselors, psychologists are available, even on call. We have the online platform that is offering counseling. We have trusted friends that you can talk to and tell them this is what I'm going through. Sometimes it's just that your heart is pregnant with issues, and maybe the minute you offload, you are healed. You can go to church, and talk to the pastor. And if it's a serious mental health challenge, you cannot miss to get help in the hospital or within the setup.
Well, I would just want to add that in case of emergencies, there are always people on call, and most of those services are online. So unless people maybe lack the knowledge that those facilities are there, and maybe through this forum it's good for them to know that there are services that are open, they are online, and you can always get help, especially in case of emergencies.
Dr. Sarah, I'm glad you talked about gifting. How can we be more sensitive during this festive season in terms of gifting? So
when we speak about gifting, Zainab, you don't have to gift people what you don't have. Gift that which you have, that which is easy to access, that which is affordable, so long as it's in the spirit of love. You don't need to feel constrained that you can't give somebody. But all of us, they have something to give. All of us. You can buy sweets, you can buy chocolates, and you decide that day you're going to give everybody a sweet within in your family. I remember there were those days when we would go to Sunday school and we'd be given those white sweets. They were called particles. Were they called particles? Yes, and they were white, and they were costing very little money, but we'd go home rejoicing. We would be given juice that is diluted, and we would really celebrate. By then it was called treetop. I belong to those days. So gifting is, you can give anyone anything, so long as you're in the spirit of love. And so these festivities, let's encourage each other to share our gifts, and we spread out our love even to people who feel marginalized or left out or disadvantaged.
Absolutely. Doctors, you have to agree with me. It's been a very good year. We've been able to cover so many topics here at Beyond the Limit. We've been able to educate and inform people about different things, especially in the space of disability and mental health. So just in 1 minute as we wrap up, because our time is up, what is your festive message? It could be to your loved ones, it could be to your friends, or it could be to our audience as well.
Your mental health and your well-being is your wealth, and don't sweat the small stuff. Love, be peaceful, forgive, and move on. Merry Christmas.
In this season of giving and love, the season of Christmas, do not forget African socialism. Give something to your neighbor, give love to those that are close to you, and always remember that this is a season where we remember that Christ came to earth to save sinners. So it is time also to review yourself and find where you belong in the way of behavior, in the way that you fit in the society. So this is a good time to do that for everyone. Merry Christmas.
Last but not least,
Merry Christmas, viewers. We want to say that this has been a good journey, and in this moment, at this moment, I would wish to tell you that you're variable. The person you are is not determined by what you have. It's not determined by how people see you. It has to start from within. So start working within yourself, so that your intrinsic motivation shall bring others to love you, make others to feel that you are variable just because of the way you carry yourself. If you are to spoil yourself positively,